So have you ever been climbing the greatest superhero of all time mountain, and it being fairly easy, fairly plain sailing with a couple of crags here and there that you've had to maneuver, and then you just get to this point in the mountain, and you just don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to get over it, if you can, if you need to go around. It is an obstacle like you've never seen before.
Well, we are going to try and figure out the way around this problem up Who Wins Mountain.
Okay, so wow, Nightwing, he ran away with it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He truly did. I don't know how many comments he got.
Well, there were a couple of stragglers going for Rogue, one or two. But for the
we commend you for not going with the crowd.
No, but you know what? I think, one of the reasons we wanted to throw it out to you guys is we felt like our minds were already set in this, and I think both of us would have chosen Spider-Man first and then Nightwing to go through, so you really have confirmed what we already thought. That is not the case today.
No, it is not. This is the Titanic battle, in my opinion. We've got Daredevil versus Batman. Yeah. You're going to talk about Daredevil because I'm the Daredevil guy.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk about Batman because everyone's a Batman guy.
Exactly. Well, I haven't read much Daredevil. We know anyone watching the show for a significant period of time knows your feelings on Daredevil.
Dude's been dragged through the mud. Love it.
Yeah. And now he's all left.
Well, I was just going to leave it there, but whatever. Yeah. So, do you want to go first?
All right, I'll go first.
Talk about my boy.
You suggest... I'm a Daredevil fan. I love the Mark Miller stuff. I'm buying the trades. I look forward to them every time.
Mark
they come
Waid
out.
Stuff.
Mark Waid. Damn Marks.
Well, this. Oh no, this is Frank Miller.
Yeah, it's Frank Miller. Look at the way that works. Shared 3 names between the 3, obviously. Anyway, right. So, Daredevil Born Again. This, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably where Daredevil gets to his lowest.
Yeah.
This is the lowest of the low.
This is the definitive. He's basically someone's holding his head in the mud until the bubbles stop.
And basically what happens is Kingpin finds out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
Yep.
And instead of doing the standard, I'm going to out you, I'm going to tell everyone, I'm going to do this, he, over a period of time, in this kind of psychological torture, uses the name to his advantage and just takes Matt Murdock's life apart piece by piece, removing every single element. That's the hook. Like that's you're into this. That's what's clever and smart. Now, I have to say, I mean, this was kind of a difficult read for that reason. It is dour.
Oh, yeah.
And just and you just, why don't you just kick him in the balls? Like, oh, yeah, now she's dead. Oh, now that's happened. Oh, my,
Especially coming off the Mark Waid and Chris Samney Daredevil that you've just been reading.
I mean, Frank Miller is we know from past experiences, crazy man.
Yeah.
Crazy man.
Do cray.
And he shows that here, I think. Matt Murdock is anyway. I'm not here to review this book. I'm here to talk about Daredevil.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Schizophrenic. Daredevil in this book is very interesting. It's very, we get a lot of resilience from him.
Yep.
And especially a lot of the stuff that we look at now of Daredevil, and especially in the latest trade of Daredevil, latest trade, not the latest issue, where Foggy...
Good differentiation.
Yeah, where Foggy is... doubting, like, you can't be okay. We see from something like this, like, you don't think anyone can ever be okay after going through something like this. But, we see tremendous resilience. We don't see any happy-go-lucky, really, at all. That has gone right from the beginning. And that's very worthwhile. We also get... great scenes of Daredevil. There's always that great moment in a superhero film. We get it in The Dark Knight Rises, where we get the superheroes go in and that comeback. Yeah. Like the last issue in this book sort of flies because, it's the payoff. Yeah. And we really see, like, Matt Murdock coming to life, like his being... they're almost more superpowered after they come back from that stuff. It's like the peak trough
It's
thing.
the classic Rocky scenario, anything like that, And
to see him doing that and just kicking ass and having that resilience and then, ending up with the woman's a crack addict, right?
Yes.
And he's with her again at the end.
Yes.
Cool.
Hell's Kitchen ain't a happy place.
No, you take how you can get. But no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Well, I didn't enjoy it. It's not really a book that you enjoy, but you know, it was something, and you know, it's a good Daredevil story.
Yeah, I love. I don't know where you've handed it to me. I'm putting it down now, but I love this Daredevil story.
Did you not find it a bit? Calm your shit.
I did, especially during the kind of the middle of the book. I think at the start when he knows that the Kingpin's doing this and he's being
that's
Daredevil.
Really interesting.
That panel, and I think I've shown it on the show before.
Who wants to talk
about Matt Murdock? It's still ingrained.
Actually, I do have a big criticism, which is the narration really bothered me throughout.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just a lug.
I mean, it is of the 80s era, but I still think it's one of the easier reads.
Yeah, but you know, I never felt the narration problem in Dark Knight Returns.
Which is interesting, because, I mean, same writer.
Same writer, similar time.
I don't know. Yeah, I love it, and I think it's a real showing of the character of Daredevil and the resilience he goes through. And it really does show his religious side in this book, and how religion kind of saves him.
Yeah.
And it is a crux on his life. It's, you know, it's not a good thing for him, and sometimes it is. It's ridiculous. Brilliant. So there's many a Batman book I could have talked about.
That's one of the things about Batman.
Year One, Killing Joke, all sorts. But I've gone for The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This book is essentially the story of Batman, and he's hunting for this killer who only kills on holidays. During his attempt to find whoever's doing this, he stumbles across pretty much his entire rogue gallery. You know, we get Poison Ivy, the Calendar Man makes his first sensible appearance. The Joker, the Riddler, they're all in it. Catwoman. The only one he's not in the rogue gallery yet is Harvey Dent, and this is kind of the first inklings that Harvey's not necessarily who he says he is. You know, he's not the squeaky clean district attorney. In fact, we get to see the transformation by the end of the book. But as far as the focus on Batman goes for this book, it's a really good example of what this character is. You know, he's the world's greatest detective, and I mean, sloppy on his part that it takes him a year to figure out who the killer is, but apart from that, it's really good to see this one of the rare books that actually shows the process that he goes through, you know, the mental process and the questioning, and it feels more like a detective noir book than it does a superhero book. And I think that's the great thing about Batman, is he really does, he toes the line of superhero, because he doesn't have the superpowers. You know, he's just a man, and writers can either go one of two ways with Batman in that respect. They can either say, well, he's got all the gadgets and the gizmos and he can get out of any situation because he's got shark repellent or batarangs or anything like that. Whereas the way they take it in this book is, well, no, he's just a man, and he's he's just a very smart guy, and you know, he thinks his way out of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great premise, isn't it? And that's part of the thing. Like, you know, you don't realize that someone's killing on holidays until 3, 4, 5 in. Because how could you know that?
Well, except for when you're reading it in trade, because I think one of the first
Batman doesn't.
Oh, Batman doesn't. No, yeah.
So that's, you know, so he's got to sort of figure that out, and the fact that they're killing in different ways depending on the holiday, like, it's a really interesting premise for a serial killer.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And to pit Batman up against that.
Good premise, serial killers. More should run with that.
But to pit Batman up against that is perfectly what you're saying. Yeah. Like, it's to put Batman in this detective role, which is so just not used as often as it should be. Yeah. We get bits of it here and there. Usually it's not done very well, and it feels kind of conceited. But in that, it feels really good. You feel like you're figuring it out along with him. Yeah, and I think that's an important point of Batman that we have. I mean, we talked about every aspect of Batman, haven't you? But you've got to. You know, we talk about Batman probably more than we've talked about any other superhero, and that is one of the things about Batman. The detective element, I think we haven't touched on as much.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I would definitely say it's actually worth picking up if you haven't read The Long Halloween. I mean, you can get it for like £10, and it's a big read, so yeah, you should look into that. Okay,
so that's where we are today. It is really tough today because Daredevil, you know, he doesn't have the huge cultural impact that Batman has. Of course he doesn't. But is he a better character? He might be.
Who knows?
So, and that's up to you to decide.
I have a personal opinion. Dan has a personal opinion. We're not going to tell you.
I'm honestly really interested to see where you guys go with this. The last two, I
predicted. I thought it was very easy to see where that was going. This one,
and even the next week's one, both of them I think are interesting.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. So yeah, it's up to you guys now. Comment down below. Let us know who wins. Is it Batman or is it Daredevil? Also, let us know over on the Twitters at Comic Book Show 1. You can tell us there who you think's gonna win.
Yeah, don't forget to join us on Friday. We got another big issue for you.
Yes, we do. We will see you then.
Don't forget to join us on Friday.